So BTC back at 105, 106. Is it time to panic though? These alts haven't bounced the way we wanted it. Was it a bit of a Trump dump yesterday? Was it a letdown for us? So guys, is it time to panic? That is the question I'm asking. That is where I'm going to get you covered now today. I've got so many levels on these alts. I'm going to give you my trading plan. I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm doing, and I'm going to tell you why I'm still bullish on tons of things. So we got so much to talk about here today. Let's get right into it. And remember, as always, hit that like, hit the bell, hit the subscribe. And I've got the man, he had the tinfoil hat on yesterday, but he's bringing fundamental stuff for us today. Okay, he's got a little token that he's going to talk about in a couple of minutes. So hang around. He's got some things for you guys. Let's talk banter bubbles. Let's see what's going. Phantom. Okay, that is now Sonic, 14% up. Have people finally fallen in love with the new branding? I just feel like I can't trade that thing yet because I miss Phantom. Okay, but here it is. Sonic is waking up 14%. Cass has woken up 6%. Look at Bonk, bottom right. There's an ETF filing for Bonk. Okay, these guys are filing for Trump. They're filing for Bonk. We're going to talk about that one today. Lido bouncing, yes. ETH staking, ETH narrative. We can't sleep on that. So you can see a little bit of action there from that perspective. And obviously hype is 15% up. That is staring us in the face. And I don't have that token for you today. So that is a penalty for me for not having that token ready. But let's talk BTC. Let's look at what is going on right now. And is it time to be in a hedge short on BTC at the moment? So we have just hit a couple of the levels or one of the big levels that I dropped in chart hackers earlier today. And you can see we are rejecting currently at the 106, 100 zone. So this is actually our first danger area now today. And this is essentially a lower high in play. So is this the start of a possible downtrend now for BTC? Are they sending us to hell? Do we have to panic right now? So let's talk about a couple of important things here. So upside, if we are pushing now today, what is my most reasonable zone if we do push a little bit higher? For me, that has got to be this 109.5. We want to take out this wick. It just makes sense to me that the market makers would like to push this guy up, take out these wicks before there is a little bit of downside. So that is obviously my ideal scenario, but I did jump into a head short off that 618. You can see there it is, BTC. It's a small position now at the moment. I'm still sitting long in that ETH position that I spoke to you guys about yesterday. That thing was a roller coaster ride at the moment, but here, head short BTC. If you want to run this thing, you can put your stop just above that wick. That is going to be your safest play. And remember, anticipation, if we do start pushing a little bit higher, we are going to be looking for this wick at the 109,500 zone. So that is essentially what I'd be watching now. And then downside levels, what do we need to pay attention to? So we got to play the fib game. So as you get a nice bounce like that, what you typically want to do is start dragging up your fibs from the lows to the highs. And this gives you the short-term supports that you want to pay attention to. So these are your short-term bullish levels. And you can see immediately here on this chart, we've got 104 on the button. That makes sense to me. That's a 382 that ties in with a bigger picture, 382 and some horizontal. So 104 on the button, and then a little bit lower down, we should get some kind of reaction anywhere between 102,500 and 102. I would expect some kind of reaction there on that weakness. Now, we also have backup from that VWAP from the lows. You can see our VWAP is acting as support as well. So I would expect that to also, perhaps if we get a wick there, that should give us some kind of support up. So 102,500 to 102K. Don't want to go too much lower than that, because that for me is going to be the start of this type of story. So we'll look at the daily chart. We'll take a look at a couple of major levels there that we don't want to lose. But for me, 99.5, it's a big one. Okay, we don't want to go below this 99.5 to the downside. So let's get into a couple of things happening. I'm sure some of you might have noticed there was an inauguration yesterday of a new president, and happy new president to all the Americans. I don't know what else to say, but the man's been busy. And he had a historic first day in the office, 42 executive orders, 115 personnel actions, more than 200 executive actions, 60 minutes of Q&A, wonderful singing. I don't know. What else was there? There was tons of exciting things going down, and except the man didn't say anything about crypto. And I mean, this is the DGen. This is the DGen right here. This is Baron. And I think he's a bit upset that uncle didn't, or daddy didn't say much about crypto. But interesting, yesterday with the Trump presidency, all the top 5 finance apps now on the App Store in the US are now crypto-related apps. Look at this. Crypto.com, number 2. Coinbase, 3. Coinbase, 4. Look at Jupiter, number 5. That's an absolute banger. And wow, who's talking about VTHO? God, I remember that thing from a while. That thing used to trade with VET, if I'm not mistaken. That was the fuel of the VET token, if I remember correctly. That is a blast from the past. And then Crypto Banter. That's us reporting today. 𝗏𝗡𝗟𝗏𝗪, I hope I'm saying that right, replaces Gary Gensler. So obviously a little bit more bullish than in the past with regards to crypto and the SEC. So that is a good start for us. And then Michael Saylor, he won't go away. He likes to steal the limelight whenever he can. But a small little buy, $1.1 billion of BTC, 101,190 he's now bought. So that is looking interesting. And then 𝗗𝗢𝗟𝗔𝗡 is telling us MicroStrategy is actually undervalued relative to its Bitcoin's holding. So I thought, let's take a look quickly at MicroStrategy. We know, pumping Bitcoin, MicroStrategy should just start climbing higher, and we can see MicroStrategy is above our 50-day moving average, and you will see that Bitcoin is also above the 50-day MA. And I mean, we don't want to get too smart with ourselves here, but we can call that a trend break as well on the daily, which we've seen on the S&P, we've seen it on BTC, we've seen it on the total 3 charts as well. So these things are playing out with one another. So exciting news coming up now in the next couple of weeks. We're going to be able to use crypto to trade stocks like MicroStrategy. We're going to be able to trade Tesla. We're going to do all of these things, guys. So if that excites you, let me know in the chats. And I'm working on this for you guys as we speak. So we're going to be bringing in stocks into the show. We're going to be able to trade at DGen vibes on 20x leverage. Okay, I'm super pumped about this opportunity that is coming for us. And even better, if the market turns bearish, how much fun are we going to have trading stocks when the opportunity comes? So something to look forward to there for us. MicroStrategy, guys, support 360. If we lose that 360, that's the 50-day MA, you're probably going to see Bitcoin falling over as well and losing some key levels. Now, let's talk the S&P, gapped up nicely, looking good above our 50-day moving average. You can see the basic trend here at the moment in the whole market. The total 3 as well, just holding our 50-day MA. So for support for me on the S&P, 5,972. I still haven't closed that long that we grabbed there on that trend. So let's see if we get an all-time high with Uncle Donald in the house. Maybe we're going to be able to buy a little handbag there or 2 for the wives. Okay. And Stefan says more opportunities sounds good. Guys, we're going to send our crypto and we're going to be able to trade these things. I'm super excited. Okay. Ash Crypto, you saw this earlier today. Well, maybe you didn't, or maybe it's the first time you're seeing it. So US Department of Government Efficiency, the official website went live, and look what they did. Look at the badge, okay? Department of Government Efficiency, it's the Doge dog. Okay, so naturally, Doge started pumping earlier today. We'll take a look at the chart. Let's see. Look, nice little pump. It wasn't as big as we hoped, but I hope some of you guys got that little dip yesterday. Look at that. I put it in for you guys. 336 is what we were looking at on that 786. Now, obviously, it's happened a little bit soon, but you can see we absolutely nailed that zone for you guys. Okay, so let me know, 336, who picked up a little bit of Doge, okay? Let me know, and who picked up some fart, because if you waited patiently, you would have grabbed that fart, which is now absolutely ripping as well. So I've got that chart for you guys ready to go for you. So just in terms of Doge, what is going on? Nice pump, nice bit of news. That's cool. I think we need to take a bigger view on Doge now. There's ETF filings as well for Doge. There's Bonk and a couple of others, Trump as well. So this is something we're going to pay attention to here. We can't lose focus on this thing. So 336 is going to be your support you're using now. I like that it's broken the 50-day MA. That's relatively bullish. So upside targets for me for Doge, 336 and then 48. Okay, so that is for the scalpers, the DGens. If you're trading, look out at these zones. These are most likely your TP zones or your rejection zones. Obviously, if you're holding the stuff long-term, spot, those types of things, well, then you just you lock and load and you just send. Okay, you don't have to exit these things if you are holding spot. You can see long-term, there should be some bullish use cases for Doge, and then that gives us 75 as a possible target. Now, let's get into a couple of other things. Immortal just giving you, look, I just want to bring a little bit of positivity to anybody who is in a panic state at the moment. So we're going to look at that poll that we're running as well. But Immortal says, in the previous cycle, we spent an average of 1,064 days from bottom to top. This cycle, 790 so far. 530 days from halving to top. So far, we are 270. And then 385 days from elections to the top. This cycle, we are 84 so far. Okay, so is it time to panic? I don't believe it's time to panic. I think the guys that are panicking are the over leveraged guys. It's it's the absolute degens and trying to get these pumps going. And I think the spot guys and the lower margin guys, it's not time to panic. I think we are actually good. I think we are long term bullish. And let's just see the poll here. Short term bullish 45%, short term bearish 30%, and 25% are here for the jokes, guys. I actually expected 70% per year for the comedy. I mean, that's what it's about. We're about having all this fun. Now, I just wanted to ask James what his view is this week, because we do have a Japanese situation brewing. So maybe we can't get super bullish this week. Talk to me quickly. What is going on Thursday? What should we be worried about?
Thursday is the interest rate decision from the Bank of Japan. So they're forecasted to raise rates by 0.25%. And that's what caused the carry trade ordeal many months ago, where we dropped down to 49,000. That was the catalyst there. So it's forecasted. It's not that it's unexpected, but that could bring up the fears of the carry trade again. Now, Trump and everything he's doing could override that, but I think the market's being very cautious right now, and we shouldn't expect Valhalla quite yet.
So, okay, cool. So a lot of uncertainty, another rocky week ahead. Trump's first week in office, a little bit of action, some Japanese things that may or may not be priced in. So again, time for caution. Some of the charts I'm going to show you, I'm going to cover you guys now for levels lower down. If there's weakness this week, you want to be prepped. And I've got those charts for you. Obviously, we've seen some of these are popping off now at the moment, which we're going to take care of. We'll deal with. But we're going to cover, I want to make sure you guys are covered to the downside if we do get a little bit more of a dip. Okay, we're going to bring James back just now because he's talking about a token here. And he seems to know it relatively well, and he's quite bullish on it. So we're going to bring him in a couple of seconds. So, okay, let's finish with Bitcoin on the daily. So just to cover the big level, you saw the S&P is above our 50-day MA, MicroStrategy above the 50-day MA. Here's Bitcoin above the 50-day MA. So the big level that you need to worry about for me, 99,500 down to 98,500. Okay, that is our trend retest and our 50-day MA. If we close under that on the daily time frame, the market is bad and we are going down. Okay, things are going to get ugly, and we're going to be talking about the CME gap at 77K again. And I don't want to have that conversation just yet with anybody. So right now it's 99.5 for me. That is what you guys need to pay attention to. And let's get into the altcoins. Same story, above our 50-day MA, above our trend. We can't be bearish while we are sitting above that. So as long as we're closing above that and we are churning higher, we cannot be bearish under that. Yes, high leverage guys, sure, we can get chopped up. You can get dealt with along the way. Look at these wicks on this total 3. That's 8% on the entire market cap. That is massive. So it means that you guys can get rinsed out. This is very choppy conditions at the moment. So as long as we're holding the 50-day MA, we can't get too bearish right now. And then in terms of dominance, I spotted this today and I dropped it in the newsroom. Remember, guys, on Banter Bubbles, there is a newsroom. You can track some of the top researchers in crypto. And so obviously some of the top researchers in Banter are sitting here. And I also contribute to this newsroom time and again with charts and ideas and things like that. So you can jump into there on Banter Bubbles. There's also an app. So there's a link for the app in the description there for you guys if you want a piece of that action, if you want to see the latest news. But I did drop this dominance chart in the newsroom earlier today. And what I wanted to highlight was bearish divergence on dominance on the 8-hour and the 12-hour. What does that mean? What does that tell me? Well, that tells me on this time frame, we could be reasonably expecting some kind of move to the downside on dominance. So on the shorter time frames, 8 and 12, we could get some kind of relief dip here, and that could send these alts maybe a few percent to the upside, which we are looking for. Obviously, on the daily, we are still looking a little bit dangerous on dominance. So that tells me that it could be a short-term bullish bounce before then another move into the big levels before we send it down. But there could be signs here, even on the 12-hour, that things might want to roll over short term. So keep your eyes on this thing. Watch this guy. And that is obviously going to help the alts, some of them which are sitting on some nice supports at the moment. Can Pepe be part of the reserve? I'm sure they'll try that. I can't wait till they put Popcat in the reserve. Fucking Popcat. I can't believe that thing. Some of the guys were laughing at my Popcat chart yesterday because I left the scribbles on that was basically sending it to 0 and I put it in hackers and they found that quite hilarious. But we know Popcat can deliver. Popcat can bounce. So let's not give up on it just yet. So I want to talk about ETH again. I know you guys think I'm an absolute ETH bro, but look, it's been spotted. I've been looking at it for a while and there's a typical cock and balls pattern playing out on ETH, and it's quite a bullish setup, this typical cock and balls that they've got going on here. And 𝗏𝗏𝗟𝗟𝗢𝗟 was posting that earlier. It's quite a bullish setup on the situation, and some people might call it a head and shoulders or an inverse head and shoulders that he's got going on. And you just remember, you saw it here first. I've been talking about this thing for 2 or 3 weeks, maybe longer. I've been talking about this inverse head and shoulders, or as Joel calls it, the cock and balls pattern. But anyway, it's all decent patterns, and World Liberty token continues to grow, holding up to $186 million of ETH now. Okay, so these guys keep loading up. Do they have something planned? Do they know something we don't? I touched on this ETH Bitcoin yesterday. I believe this could be the bottom of quite a big move. So if that is the bottom, we are going to get quite a substantial move on ETH. That's a 34% upside move against Bitcoin if this is going to play out for us. So looking for that 34% ideally. Let's take a look at the ETH chart. So just to confirm what the gents are saying in the previous tweets that I've just shown you, we cannot write this off. We cannot exclude this from our game plan here on ETH. You can see this wedge. These wedges do play out and they do give us bullish bounces. We cannot take that off the table for now. So what I want to say here, ETH traders, if you are long ETH, you got to be careful. The 3,500 zone, no changes here for the scalpers, for everybody. You can see every time we hit that level, we are rejecting. So if you're trading scalps, when you bang into those zones, those are nice TP areas for the scalpers. Now, for the long-term guys, I think this right shoulder is going to play out at some point. We just haven't tapped the zone. So be patient with it. I would say DCA, spotters and low margin guys, you DCA into your ETH. Okay, we know Trump is president for at least another 4 years. We've got a more bullish guy in the SEC. We've got other policies. We pro crypto. I think upside is, there's more upside than downside coming. But I think if you want to be strategic here for the spot buyers, you just DCA. But be prepared for 2.8 to 2.7. I don't want to lose that, and I don't want to, I don't want to say that's off the table for us. So we're going to keep that here, and we're going to watch that level as we go. But right now we have at our first tap in that zone. Where can we shift bullish? Same story as yesterday. When we pop 3,500 nicely, I want to pop it convincingly. We're going to look for support, and then we are chasing that 4,000 level. So that is essentially what we're going to look for. We can flip bullish on ETH above 3,500. Now, an ETH play for us is Pepe, and there's two setups here. So one of the setups I dropped in Chart Hackers earlier today, it was a DGen scalp session for a short-term move. So the Chart Hackers got that when I took the trade about 2 hours ago, and it was a short-term setup. But what I wanted to prep you guys on, and for me, that is if ETH also dumps to these lows, the 2,900, 2,800 level, you might see further weakness. Well, you will see further weakness on things like Pepe. And if you still believe in Pepe as one of the leading memes, well, it's about another 70% to go to a reasonable level here if ETH starts printing that right shoulder that I've just shown you. So how do you be prepared for that? Well, number one, you can see what I've got going on here on Pepe. I've got a major daily resistance, which we want to flip into support. I've got cover from the 200-day moving average as well. I've got my quantum reactor from Chart Prime, and that's the whole region for me. Anything down to multiple zeros, 1312 is going to be your support. So 13 is going to be where your longer term entry is. If we get that opportunity, for me, I would say that is the level where we get proper clean out on things like this daily, where our daily oscillator is fully reset and starting to print reversals for us. That is essentially what I'm going to be looking for on Pepe. So be prepped every single time. Be prepared for more downside. You can see what's happened over the last while. We've had a dump and you think it's over. What do? They dump you again. Then you think it's over. What do? They dump you again. So if we pump today, Okay, don't be surprised if they send you back down to those levels. Be prepared, lower down, be ready for anything with crypto. I suspect a bounce off that 200-day could be very healthy for the market. It will flush things out, and it will give us a nice entry here on this Peppy. So buy zone for me on Peppy, 144 down to 13. That is where you're going to ladder in anywhere in that zone. You've got the support and you've got the reasoning behind this thing. And, our chart prime prophecy on the right is still printing pump. Okay, so as long as we're holding above the quantum reactor on the daily, we can still call this pretty bullish. So that is our trend, and we want to hold that thing. So Peppy, from that perspective, looking good. Okay, we just got to wait for our entry. Those are the high conviction entries. Then it's in terms of degen plays. Now, this was the degen play that I dropped earlier in Chart Hackers. Now, remember, in Chart Hackers, we got a mix of spot signals. We're giving out margin signals. Then we've got degen traders in the chats. Okay, they literally are stationed there at your service. These guys are here to give you shorts. They're there to give you longs. They are trading so many tokens. We've got 3 traders in the chats all day long dealing with the degens. Okay, they're giving you 15-minute setups. They're giving you all types of trades. Now, that was one of the trades that I dropped today, this Peppy situation. So a couple of things I pointed out to the guys was our main support 0.151 is what you needed to watch. That was going to be your main support. And what I liked about this is we had a breakout of trend, but we could see a flag forming. So what I wanted to see was this 15-minute oscillator that was printing divergence actually move to the lows and then give us this dip into that 618. So we always want to tie in on our lower time frame trades. We really want to tie in as much as possible resets on the oscillator and divergence prints with nice areas, nice bullish areas. So that is essentially what we were looking for there. And let's see if this divergence is now going to play out. We should get some downside on Peppy. But if I were you, I would watch 0.0151 as your support. That is the support I'm playing for that current Peppy trade that I'm in, and any dips into that zone I will add. And if we close under 0.151, then I'm going to start jumping out of that trade because it's a short-term scalp. We're looking for a short-term move, and if we do drop a little bit lower there, that's another 2.7% bleed out. And then we start looking at situations where they might actually send us to 13. And you don't want to be caught in a trade, especially a scalp trade that turns you into a long-term investor. Okay, you don't want to do that. So learn where to jump out, and jump out at the right times when you start losing key areas, or even ladder out a little bit. You can cut the trade slowly, and while it decides what it wants to do. So, okay, Peppy, you've got degen. If you want to look for a target, for me, it's the VWAP. Just look how easily this VWAP has acted as resistance. This is our VWAP from the highs. So we've got multiple touches. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm expecting Peppy to hit that VWAP, and that is where we exit that scalp. So very simple. And then that could be the trigger that sends us back down into that zone for us. Okay, we spend way too much time on Peppy, but you get the drill. And remember, all these charts go straight into Chart Hackers after the show. Okay, they'll be there ready for you and waiting. So use them at your leisure. Now, Marty Party, just reminding everybody that Sol is the most bought crypto on Coinbase, 161,000 buyers in 24 hours. That seems like a lot, but yeah, here's a tinfoil hat moment. Now, I don't want to spread rumors or cause trouble, but 𝗏𝗏𝗟𝗏𝗪, now it's a relatively big account. He's got 40,000 odd followers. He says, he's talking to the Brian Armstrong from Coinbase. He says, after dealing with insolvency last cycle, e.g. or i.e. FTX, we demand answers into why it takes 9 hours to send and receive SOL. It takes less than 1 second on chain. Now, why was Coinbase taking so long to send the SOL? So this guy, look, I mean, it's not necessarily correct what he's saying, but he's speculating here, and it's tinfoil hat time. He says it looks very likely that they were caught staking their customer's SOL without consent. So, I mean, that's what he said. Now, some guy in the comments actually, he said, well, it shouldn't be. He says, reason, not only SOL, any token on SOL facing the same long waiting period for withdrawing. It took more than 7 hours to withdraw USDC on SOL. So, look, I know we've got a conspiracy man here. Thoughts?
Yeah, I saw the same thing this morning, and yeah, that I saw comments all day yesterday. No one could get their Solana off of Coinbase, going, what is going on? Why can't I get my SOL off of there? And lots of people blew it off over this Trump thing because there was all kinds of issues with Solana and Phantom and all this. But yeah, okay. This is concerning.
Okay, well, yeah. Okay, so let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt, say it's not true. Okay, the Sol was so congested because of Trump and Melania, and it just worked out that way. Okay, so let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's talk Solana right now. So we are, we're currently in the phase after a pump. Now, you guys, if you've been watching me long enough, you know what I'm talking about now. After the original pump, the big move, we get into this phase where we start printing lower highs and we start these downtrends. Okay, so now after that very aggressive pump from Sol, the most obvious play now is a revisit somewhere to the upside. I'm hoping to take out some of the wicks, but then a lower high and then potentially a downtrend for a while things consolidate. Maybe some other altcoins will start ripping, maybe other things will happen, and that is typically what I'm expecting now on Solana. So I just want to give you guys a couple of levels that you can watch, and I think the healthiest thing here for the market would be some kind of consolidation here on Sol. Obviously nothing too dramatic where they send us down to say 170s again. We don't want to go there, but something like this should start playing out after that original pump. So we need some kind of consolidation. Then we will get at some point a trend break and we can start playing that bullishness again. And I see, so Neptune says he's been waiting 12 hours to withdraw some Sol on Coinbase. So that is interesting. Okay. So just finishing on Sol now, I'm not diving into DGen charts on Sol today. I just want to give you some of the main levels. Now, I'm still sitting in quite a big Sol leverage position, so I don't want to go too much lower, but I just want to give you guys the zones now. So you can see we've reacted off our first area. That was 231 that I gave you guys yesterday. So 231 giving us, or doing its job. Okay, it gave us what we wanted. 231, if you got the reaction off that zone, well done. If you're playing it, you can tighten up your stops now. You can see we've had a bounce and we are rejecting at a typical resistance band. That is 246. You can see just like Bitcoin is sitting at resistance right there, rejecting, you will find a lot of these altcoins are now sitting at resistance zone. So, nothing surprising here. If we do go lower, big levels for me where you're looking for your next bounce, 216 to 210. That's quite a high conviction bounce zone for me. I would be very surprised if Sol doesn't bounce off that zone. Even I'm talking 5%, 8%, something like that. I would say 216 to 210 is going to be your next bounce zone. But typically at one of these zones is going to be your next move that prints that higher low and then creates some kind of consolidation, some kind of flag that you want to play with. So just be patient with it here. Don't force things. You've got 231, we know, and 216 to 210. I'm not going to give you much lower than that. We don't want to see that. If we're going much lower than that, we'll deal with it. We'll deal with it tomorrow on the show. Okay, I'm back. And that's going to be 176. As the next one. But right now, I would watch that for your immediate play over the next 24 hours. I'm not expecting much lower than that for now. Let's talk one of my favorite Sol plays at the moment. And I gave you this entry yesterday, guys, and it front ran it. So we did miss that. I didn't get it. Okay, I didn't get the buy. And we were looking at 2.7 just above that 200-day MA. So now it doesn't mean we might not come back. So what I want to say here is 𝗙𝗖𝗘 traders, just mark this on your charts. Just be ready in case you get it. You can see what a nice area this is. This is our 200-day MA. It's our 618, and it's our horizontal wick here. You can see we've got support in that area. So I just want you guys to be prepped here. 2.7 down to about 2.66. That is still a banger zone for me. And 𝗙𝗢𝗅 says they're still waiting since Friday. Guys, I can't believe that. I mean, that's pretty hectic. Okay, that's reverse bullish. Okay, reverse bullish. So yeah, I suppose reverse bullish on Coinbase, not necessarily reverse bullish on Sol at the moment. So yeah, we'll have to see how that plays out. But guys, just to finish, 𝗙𝗖𝗘 didn't hit the zone, didn't get the trade. So 2.7 down to 2.66. That's pretty much the zone that I would say watch that for a bounce. You can see that 200-day MA doing what it needs to do. Look at that, lots of support there. So we just want to see that hold and then kick on. That would be our dream situation. Okay, so let's take a look at what is going on here. Okay, there's a couple of positions. Popcat scalp long. At the moment, XRP, no changes there. 𝗙𝗢𝗅, that's that 𝗙𝗢𝗅 trade that I dropped in chart hackers earlier. Sol long, you can see I'm still long Sol. I've got my hedge play in place now. That is green. Okay, I mean, I wasn't expecting miracles on Sol there, and that Sol trade, we're just going to leave it now. Okay, I've taken some profits. You can see I've banked 18,000 there. We've still got $30,000 in the tank on Sol, so I'm not going to cut any more just yet. If we do get downside, I'm just going to ride that short lower down, and I'll just bank profits on that short if we do start dropping a little bit lower. So that is that. Then link. I've also got a link. Where's my link? Where's my link? There's Whiff from this morning. Drop that in chart hackers as well. There's my link long as well. We hit our entry yesterday. I gave you that link yesterday. Brett, you guys know the story with Brett. This Brett trade's been in front of your faces for probably what, James? 12 weeks? Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. I've banked and closed Brett shorts hedges probably 3 or 4 times, and I'm just adamant that I've got conviction on this thing. I'm holding this Brett thing, so they must send it down. We just keep going. We'll open the shorts, we'll ride it lower if they must. You can see I'm head short here on Brett in case they drop it. Then we bank some more and we add to the position. Okay, we just keep lowering that entry. At some point Brett is going to come right, so I'm just going to keep riding that thing. Okay. So Chainlink, we gave you an entry yesterday, over 770,000 Chainlink tokens withdrawn from exchanges today. Okay, that's, I mean, I would say that's pretty bullish, but just again, like you got your entry yesterday. So if you're watching the show yesterday, that was our zone. Okay, we dipped into VWAP, 50-day MA, 382. It was an absolute bang. Okay, so really, I sincerely hope some of you guys got some link action from me yesterday. What I still don't like about this, okay, I don't like this divergence at the top. This is bearish divergence playing out here at the moment for me on Link. So a little bit cautious here. We actually had a zone. We should be exiting here. Okay, yeah, we're going to close this thing. Okay, let's close it. There. I'm closing Link at resistance. Okay, so there. We are out there. That is a resistance band. Just being a little bit cautious here. We've made profit. Nice little pump off a good area. Banked a little bit of profit here. And what can we do now for Link? So if this thing runs a little bit higher, there's 2 key zones that you want to pay attention to. And number 1 is going to be 28. That is our 786 fib. And number 2 is going to be the wick clean out at 30.4. So those are your upside zones. Yes. Can Link go higher? Yes. Okay. I'm closing the trade because I want you guys to also witness what discipline looks like. You need to take profits. There's nothing worse than a round trip. How many times have you seen me round trip live on the show? Okay, so right now, Link's at resistance. We don't need to hold all our positions open. Let's close something, bank some profit, okay? So nice entry for Link. I hope you guys got it. If this is one of your trades that you want to keep open, well, you know, raise your stop a little bit. And you know what the drill is, but what I don't like is the 4-hour divergence there. Not the best look for me at the moment. If Link runs 28, and 30, please just make sure you are taking profits in some of those zones and just keeping that discipline going. Now, guys, it's the final week before my masterclass on the trading accelerator. Those of you that have been watching me for long enough, you know that I've got an accelerator school. It's a 10-day trading school. Those of you that are new, watch this, okay? Get involved, yeah. If you want to learn about all these things that I do, if you want to learn about how I got this entry, like, why did it bounce there? Why did that happen? Why did I draw these lines here on the chart? Why did I know with a balance or, balance of probabilities that we were going to get a reaction? Well, this is how you're going to find out. So go into the show description here, sign up for the trading accelerator. You can learn to do all this stuff in 10 days. My masterclass is in 5 days' time. I'm going to be live with everybody who's registered and signed up for the accelerator school and has started watching the videos. So all you need to do, guys, is go into the show description, click on more, and join the Dylan's Trading Accelerator School. That's accelerator with an X. Okay, did you see what we did there? X. And you can just sign up there, click on the link at the top, get involved, and hopefully after seeing that, and after the masterclass, you might be interested in joining Chart Hackers, which is our incredible community built off the back of the accelerator. Now, in this accelerator, you're also going to learn about all the things that I do with Chart Prime. You've seen this magical oscillator that I use at the bottom. You've seen me talk about things like the quantum reactor and money flows and all these things. You're going to learn about that stuff in the course. I see NZ Danny is busy doing the course at the moment. So, guys, get involved, okay? The answers are here. They're all there for you as to how I do this. Now, let's get into a couple of things, and we're going to talk about the fart that is ripping at the moment. Hopefully, it's still ripping. But Elon Money. Okay, this is OX Elon Money. Says the past few days have been tough due to liquidity being drained by Trump meme coins. Yes, these tokens have shown the strongest mind share over the last 3 days. Okay, number 1, fart coin. Why is it so crypto that we are trading farts. I mean, it's actually insane that we are doing this. Why is it so crypto that we are trading a typical cock and balls bullish pattern? I mean, is there anything more crypto than this stuff? And number 2 is Griffin. I'm talking about that one. And then number 11 is Griff. And I pulled in James because James actually knows about this thing. So we're going to talk to him just now about Griff. So he's got a little bit of something to say about that situation. So let's get stuck into some of these. And okay, so my fart is ripping, but it wasn't ripping. I see it's reversed a little bit here. This is what I've got going on. Fartcoin was the trade that I gave you guys on the show yesterday, and I dropped it in Chart Hackers earlier today when I took the trade. So Fartcoin looking good. Okay, we've had a nice move. Remember, this thing is super volatile, so it depends how you want to play it. You can see I took a really small position here. It was $3,500 position because I know small position, big move. I don't have to take a $20,000 fart position and then get rinsed out on a stop. Okay, and lose $1,000 or $2,000. What you can do is take a tiny position because you know this thing pumps 10, 15, 20% in one sitting, and then it can give you a go. Danny D says all non-utility garbage. What is that? Fartcoin or these mindshare coins, James? Is he talking about all of these? Most likely. Some of them have got use cases.
I think it's the Fartcoin that popped up then. But you know what? This non-utility garbage, it pays the bills. These things are moving while all of our utility coins are sitting doing nothing. So yeah, I'll take the money.
Unfortunately, it does. Unfortunately. Yeah. So just to wrap up, I did add to my Ondo position earlier today as well on 𝗬𝗥𝗡, trading this on 𝗬𝗥𝗡, and then Fartcoin is doing its thing. So we're going to actually raise. I'm going to put my Fartcoin stop at entry because we don't need to get rinsed now. We don't need to get round tripped. So we're going to just add our stop loss. Remember on 𝗬𝗥𝗡, you can put a stop loss, at the bottom here, or you can do it when you preset the trade. Let's see, entry price was 1.58. So we're going to go 1.58 as our stop loss trigger price. Okay, there we go. So now that stop is at entry, and we'll look for another one. Okay, if we get stopped out there. So that thing is 10% up on a flat trade, and it's 100% up on a leverage trade. Okay, so good one. Let's talk about it. So this was the level. Adam says we ain't in it for the tech. I must agree. I'm not really in it for the tech. So I'm in it for the rips. Okay, so here is Fartcoin. There's a couple of things that are interesting to me, and what I've been watching quite closely over the last 2 days while we've been waiting for this entry is I actually want to see this 4-hour drift lower give us divergence. That is going to be the real move that we're going to get on Fartcoin. Okay, so that is going to be the big move that I want. And if we get lucky, that is going to tie in with this 618 level at 1.46. So we might be faced with a situation where, like you can see, they pumped this up, but we might be faced with a situation where they bring it back down and that 4-hour resets, and then we get another big move. So that is what I'm looking for there. Ideally, you will obviously get that from me on the show. So if this happens by tomorrow or Chart Hackers, it will be in my trading setups there for the day. But it will happen. If it happens tomorrow, I'll bring this chart for you guys. And just to give you another idea as to how much this thing can pump. I mean, from that entry, 24% this afternoon. So small position, big move. Okay, you don't need to ape into these things and let it do what it does. You can see it's printing money here. Okay, so Fartcoin. Hopefully you guys got some of that entry that I gave you. If not, 1.46. If the wheels come off, if there's a huge sell-off before this thing bottoms out, I just want you guys to see 1.13. 1.13 is going to be your next entry zone. You're going to get that same type of reaction that you have there. You're going to get a 25-30% pump when you hit 1.13. So just look out for that if we do lose these levels. And remember, again, if you're trading small position, you might take 1 or 2 stops on these, but it takes one move and one big bounce, and this thing is printing for you guys. So just watch that one. So Fartcoin done. Let's talk Griffin. Now, we have had this one on the show before, and we were looking for a much bigger move. So it did pull back into our previous all-time high, unfortunately, but now you can see there is something going on here. We are printing higher lows at the moment. There is something going on here, and we might be faced with a situation where we do get some kind of pop. So just talking about this Griffin, I know James has a little bit of info on it as well, and he's going to be talking about Griff too. So what's the basics here again? Remind me.
Yeah, I mean, these are DeFi plays, right, on Solana. And Griffin is the big daddy. It's older. It's got a much higher market cap, where Grift is the smaller market cap of the two. But these things are like trading bots. You can do all kinds of things with them. I know Grift specifically You can have it track this 𝗂𝗥𝗡𝗡, which is going through collecting alpha from all sorts of different Twitter accounts and bringing up trending tokens. And you can set this grift to actually set up trades for you, execute the trades for you based on what these trending tokens are. So this is automated trading. Same thing. They both, similar narrative, yeah.
Okay, so look, so you think there's more upside in grift than in Griffin?
Grift, just because the market cap. And Griffin is super bullish. Everybody's talking about this and have been for a long time. It's just you've got more potential X's on Grift because of the smaller market cap. And it's just, of all the AI agents that, excuse me, I own, it's the one that's got the biggest returns. I bought that in spot and it's done about a 7x since. It's been fantastic. And it's so strong compared to a lot of these other AI agents.
So guys, just finishing on Griffin, we're going to look at this Grift chart now and a little bit more things about it. But, we can see a rising trend. So if we have to be like fussy about things, the real zone is actually this 37. Okay. If you don't mind, if you believe in this narrative, then what you want to do is you just want to DCA into these things if you have conviction of that. Otherwise, you're going to wait for this 37 zone. That's typically, where I would say is your best area, because that ties in with a nice horizontal as well. So that would be pretty pleasant for us, and then you'll get that inverse situation that you saw on ETH there as well. You might get something along those lines. So it might take a bit of patience, and there is obviously a situation where this thing might just rip from here and then you miss out. So if you have conviction on these things, just DCA slowly on those. And remember, if you look back in a week or two and this thing has dropped into 36, 37, well, that's actually a buy zone. Okay, so you can't be faulted for looking for a buy in an area like that, 37. So if you're not in a rush to invest in something like this, wait for it. 37, that's the zone. Lower down, 30 is another banger. So just be patient on these things. We know what these guys are up to. Now, Grift is actually Orbit, if I'm not mistaken. And this is Orbit here on X saying, introducing our new AI agent, 𝗂𝗥𝗡𝗡 style intelligence at your fingertips. This agent tracks crypto market narratives from 𝗂𝗥𝗡𝗡 and allows you to prompt trades based on what it finds. Okay, smart, fast, ready to help you stay ahead. Watch it in action. So there's a little video if you want to see a little bit more about this. And then looking at this chart, look, I know Uncle's super bullish on this thing. It's difficult from a leverage perspective to try and trade this guy. You can see how much chop here. But if this thing catches on, this is, again, another DCA situation is probably best suited for something like that. You can see right now we are in a rising trend at the moment. And, this one level looks okay. Okay, so let's just highlight this guy. So this is not a degen play. This is, pack your bags and wait a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months, and then see where this thing ends up. So right now, if you start holding one, that should make sense to me. Anything above one. Okay, so let's highlight that there. So anything above that type of region for me can make sense. And then remember, if you start losing that trend, same story here. You're going to wait for lower 65. So if you check back in a couple of weeks and this thing has fallen over and you see this thing floating at 65, that is a banger zone. If you are in a rush, DCA, 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 DCA. Okay, keep it simple. And AI16Z session, I've got you. Coming in hot. Let's go. Look at this timing. This is incredible. Bang. Wait. Bang. There it goes. Okay, a little trend break there. AI16Z. And looking like a little trend break here. Shall we trade this trend break? Shall we trade this trend break, James? Let's see the risk here.
Absolutely.
Okay,
when this thing moves, it moves.
Oh, okay. It's already 7% risk. Okay, so this is why we go small position. Okay.
Low leverage, small position.
Well, yeah, small position, big move. Okay, it's already broken trend. So now we're just going to play this thing carefully here. Okay, AI16Z. Let's see. We'll put it on low leverage. Okay. I'm putting on 7x. Okay, we're going to take, just like we did with Fartcoin, we're going to take a small position here, and we understand what our risk is. Our risk is that if this candle retraces, market order max open size 2.5. You see, they're not even letting us trade a big size here. If this candle fails, okay, we don't want to be in this thing. Okay, so anything back to 91. Okay, that for me is then a fail. So if we close under 91 again, this thing is going to fail. So let's go. Let's put in our stop loss here, 0.91. Okay, and you're looking for a big move. Look at the size of the stop already. And it's not even a big stop. We're just sticking it under there on that trend break. And your risk on a $2,500 position is already $250. So remember, small position, big move. You want this thing to pump. And remember, when this thing starts ripping, you just want to make sure you raise your stops, okay? And you keep it safe. So we don't have a reversal print yet either on this 1 hour. So we could get a sharp pump here. So let's look at a couple of targets for this thing. And remember, your stops can be under 94 and under 91 are potential stop zones for you. Then target zones that you can watch. Obviously, that VWAP is number one. You can see that VWAP gives us rejections. And that is going to be your first area that this thing needs to break through. So look at that. Bang. And then you're most likely going to chase these wicks before you get to that 618. So you're going to look at something along those lines. So possible targets here, 1.055, 1.15, 1.23 is pretty much what you want. James taking notes there. I don't see him taking the trade.
Yes, sir.
He's taking notes.
I took the trade. Now I'm just taking notes. I'm a good boy.
The man takes notes. He watches the show and he takes notes. I mean, that's
everybody should be taking notes. If you want to make money here, take damn notes.
Guys, that is the secret, okay? Pick your favorite tokens, not all of them. You can't trade everything that I do. And remember, some of them don't work, okay? So pick one or two of your favorites per show and wait for those setups. Don't wait for on the day for a setup and then you don't see a setup and then you forget about what I spoke about. Because remember, that fart coin was an absolute gift for you guys. If you just waited, look at that, 23% for you guys. Where's AIXBT as well? That thing was also a massive pump. For you guys. Okay, so finish these low leverage 7x. Bro, you must see my Prime XBT, the leverage I trade on this thing. Oh, fuck, Bitcoin's going to rinse me here. This Prime XBT is, it's 200x, bro. It's 200x. Okay, that's degeneracy there. Okay, so there's your AI16Z. That is banked. Then let's talk meme coins. We got to cover some of these meme coins here at the moment. And just remember this feeling. Oh, look. Another 100x, which I didn't buy. Now, how many times has this happened to you guys? Because it still happens to me all the time. But a couple of news events, Trump, Bonk, and Doge ETFs filed with the SEC. Let's talk Bonk. Now, this explains why Bonk has had so much relative strength versus these other Sol meme coins. We know Popcat bounced well. We know WIF bounced well, but Bonk really bounced well. So these guys obviously knew something we didn't, and now Bonk is looking good. And it was a nice trade for us. We got the long on Friday or Thursday. We got the short Sunday night in Chart Hackers Zoom. Then we got the long the next morning, and now I'm obviously out of this thing. So there's no more bonkage for me for now. But what we can do is give you a target. You can see Bonk is breaking our 50-day moving average. Good start. Okay, if we want to close above that, but there's a massive target up here for me on Bonk, 387. So I suspect if there is more pumpage, guys, that is going to be pretty much that upside. That was our short zone on Sunday night. And if we get a pump into that zone, I would say they're coming to take out the wick and look out for a rejection in that zone. So multiple zeros, 388 is pretty much a TP or a short zone for any Bonk traders. Okay, so watch that guy. 388 is where it's at. If it pumps higher, remember 477. Mark that on your charts. 477. That's another major danger zone there for us. And then Heisenberg says, Trump coin rubbed so many people now. Everyone who bought when it was made available on Robinhood and Coinbase are all underwater. Who's underwater on Trump? I mean, I actually got rinsed on that Trump yesterday. I tried to long that thing into his inauguration just in case there was a pump, and I got rinsed on that thing. Here's look on chain. Yes, sir.
Just have to say about this Trump. We had a 9-hour long session on the stage in the Discord on Saturday. Everybody was excited, of course. I warned everyone at $30 billion, don't ape in here. You're going to get rinsed. And of course, round trip is the best case scenario, and people got so caught up in it they just kept buying, I'm sure. But we put out a warning in there and tried to tell everybody. I hope some listened.
Guys, it's such filth. All around, it's filth. I mean, look at this. Look, now there's a wallet named Ansem. Okay, there's suspicions that it is actually Ansem's wallet, and this wallet took a hit, $2.5 million. Okay, so it happens to the best of them. Okay, $2.5 million hit for Ansem, where it appears that he took a $2.5 million hit. And I mean, who wouldn't if you got involved in this Trump situation? Okay, right now it's trading at $7 billion market cap. Imagine you're a part of that dump. Okay, 59%. Okay, that's going to hurt. That's really going to hurt. Traveling Man says he enjoyed that Discord session. God, we got some DJs in the chart hackers. Wow. I mean, Sammy just sat there for 9 hours. Guys, another riddle has come out here on Goku. Now, remember, we've been talking about Goku for a long time now. Okay, I brought this thing to you at minimal market cap. This thing is now pushing 20 million market cap at the moment, and they keep comparing themselves to what Morad is looking for. So if you want to track what Morad likes on his memes, or you can see what Goku is doing, they're copying the same playbook. Then they've got an AI bot that is banging out riddles. Look at this. We saw this one the other day. They're giving out $1,000 in Goku tokens for the strongest, or the person that can guess the riddle. Now, this is an AI bot or AI agent banging out riddles here and giving out prizes. So you got to solve the riddle. Okay, so you can look at this thing, solve the riddle, and you can win 1,000 in Goku. I'm assuming, I don't know how you would solve these riddles, but anyway, I've been talking about this guy. I mean, you can see all the chart work that's been going on here, but this thing is getting close to a proper poppage here. We are breaking out here soon. We got to look here. If we crack this 23, 24 zone, if we start breaking this guy, I think it's going to fly. So we've had this nice consolidation here. Okay, now we're looking for a big move. If it pops out here, looking for a banger play here on this Goku. So congrats. If you guys got it here when I first brought it to you, congrats. If you got it here when I brought it again, congrats. If you got it there, yeah, you know what I'm saying. Okay, you know what I'm saying. Okay, Shakespeare's Pipe says, tried buying Melania 60 minutes after launch, sold, failed, huge. No luck. Yeah, look, we had that opportunity as well. Just as it launched, we were looking at it live, and there was actually pumpage afterwards. Okay, so guys, you see the drill. Okay, you know what to do here. Virtual, let's talk. Okay, so we haven't hit our zone yet. There were 2 zones. Okay, one of them was yesterday in this area where I was saying we could get some kind of bounce, but my preferred zone is 2.04. So that is still my preferred play for virtual. I still like it lower down. I still want to see this thing proper capitulate. I want to see a big dip on the oscillator. Will they give it to us? Well, it remains to be seen, but I'd really want to see something along those lines on the oscillator and a dip into that 2 level. So that's my high conviction virtual play, but you can see this thing looks just like AIX, what was it, AI16Z. You can see it's pushing a trend break here. So if you're interested in trading this one, what you need to do is firstly be careful. And secondly, you can see what's in the way at the moment, and you can bang out your stops under these lows. So ideally, you want to look for a candle close under the lows, because sometimes they'll come for a stop hunt, bang, and then send it up. So just look out for a move like that. So if you can wait for a candle close, that's generally in your favor. And if you're getting stressed out with a stop like that, it just means your position is way too big. So keep your position smaller. And if this thing starts pushing, your targets are 2.88. So you can trade this one now. Okay, just keep your stops under 2.39. Keep your stops under 2.39. Small position here. Targets 2.88, 3.3. That's it. Okay, you don't need to go greedier than that. You don't need to go much higher than that. If this thing pops, that's 25%. Okay, so just keep it to those levels, and that will pay for your risk. Once it gets up there, you covered. And remember, once this thing starts pushing, it most likely rejects at that 50-day MA. That is going to be your place where you start raising your stop. Yeah, you just want to make sure you're safe in case there is a pullback there on that thing. So remember, all these zones, it probably rejects off. So it just depends if they stay bullish on this thing. Matty says, I hate this market. Just go up or down. I agree. Guys, we're in a frustrating phase in the market again, and it reminds us always, we must enjoy the moments where it's green, and we must really take advantage. When you see the market pushing green like that, that is your time. You know that feeling now. If you've been trading long enough, you know when the momentum is there in the market, and you got to take advantage of those moments. We also know they are short-lived. So we take advantage there, we bank profits, we open hedge shorts at good zones, and we close, we can keep a few open to moon in case it wants to go more. But remember, just take advantage when there's momentum. take advantage of it out there. Now, it makes us appreciate those moments a lot better. Okay, here's AIXBT. We spoke about this one yesterday. I gave you this entry zone. Look at this absolute banger. Please tell me some of you guys took this thing. 28%. Okay, we have a nice move off that 618. In fact, it was already popping off that 618 when we spoke about it yesterday. So realistically, 22% is probably what you got out of this thing. 22% pump. Now we are back. So what does that mean for me? It's a second visit. So it's a little bit more suspicious that it's our second time at this level, and we could be in this clear downtrend. As you can see, downtrend in play. So this could be a situation where we have a smaller bounce now. Let's just move this. So we could be in this situation now. Small little bounce, and then we move into that zone where we look for that bigger reaction. So 20% moves, we can see they're coming. Okay, we can see them on these areas. If you're on the zone now, long in the zone, play it safe. 5-9 is your support. I'm not expecting a massive move like before. And then most likely 49 is what we're going to be looking at. So 49 is what you want to watch. You can see this oscillator just wants to come down a little bit more and reset a bit for us before we get too excited. Okay. A couple of entries for you guys to look out for now before we shut down. Okay, a couple of entries. So head and shoulders on near, head and shoulders on a lot of tokens on the daily, on the 12-hour time frame. They don't always play out, but we do know fairly often they're fairly reliable. So I want to leave this here in case there's a meltdown later today or leading into tomorrow. I want you guys covered. So 4.53 is a buy zone for me on near. 4.53, look for that. 4.53, that's a buy zone. If that zone fails, 3.6, be ready. Look at that. It's so clean. It's so obvious. Look for those zones. If the head and shoulders plays out in full, you're most likely coming here at some point. Okay, so 3.6, 4.5, call it 4.5, okay? And 3.6, those are your bounce zones for near, for capitulation. Then we're talking 𝗬𝗧 as well. And I've got a beautiful zone for you. Now, it's a little bit of a wick lower down. So it's going to take a dump in the market of 10 to 11%. Okay, 10 to 11% meltdown. I've got a banger here, guys. 366 to 379. Okay, that is a nice area for me. That's a nice horizontal. That's going to give us a nice reset on this oscillator. You can see we've printed our blue dot. We're starting to print divergence. They're telling us a story here that something is going to be coming. So for me, watch that zone 366 to 370, 377, 378, anywhere in that region. That's about another 10% down on 𝗬𝗧. That is an entry zone for me that I'd like to see bounce. And then with guys, I dropped this one in chart hackers earlier today. I said it's a margin or a spot long position that we were looking for. And now this thing is firing. And it was our last ditch attempt at these levels. Now, I gave this to them yesterday too, James. Did I? I'm pretty sure I gave this yesterday.
I don't remember if, I think so, because you were talking about it. I don't remember if it was here or if it was in hackers. But
okay, well, somebody got this thing
yesterday. Do you
yesterday.
ever trade this SPX?
SPX, no.
Yeah, it's going insane.
Oh, no.
And I'll tell you, that's another one that's been monstrously strong, but it's up 5% in the last 5 minutes.
Ooh. Let's see, bonk AI16Z dripping. Okay, that's nice. Is our trade cooking here? Oh, that's nice. Okay, we're hitting our VWAP here, guys. AI16Z traders, we're hitting our VWAP. You can see the rejection. Okay, look at that rejection on the VWAP. Typical. Now, if we break through that, it gets fun. Okay, that's when it's going to get fun. Okay. So near, you guys know what to do there. You've got what to do on 𝗬𝗧. Now with, look, it's a little bit late now. If you're jumping in now, it's too late. Okay, your risk is 10.6%. Okay, it's too much risk now for me. The game plan for me on WIF is one more push up. Now, we don't know how high it's going to go, but we can speculate. You can see there's a trend there. So the idea was maybe at best, we're looking at about 1.7, and then we're coming back down. Okay, so that is the current strategy there. Anyone sitting in WIF, please tighten up your stops now. We've got a nice pump, okay, prepared for takeoff. It can reject any time, obviously. Your next big level is going to be just above 1 is what you're going to be looking at. So I hope some of you guys got WIF. I have covered it a few times over the last few days. And then, guys, a reminder on Bitfunded. Oh, I think I'm going to get my third funded account. I need $1,250 I'm going to show you how this works. I need $1,250, and this $25,000 account is going to be a funded account with real money. Okay, you can see my profit target here, stage 2. I need to get $1,250. I took a 𝗬𝗎 momentum long earlier today. Come on, I need $100. We're going to hit this thing. Come. We're going to hit this, and that is going to give me my third funded Bitfunded account. So that looks like that. When you pass the challenge, you get a funded account. So I've got a $10,000 funded account and a $5,000 funded account. I'm now trying to get that $25,000. And what we do here is you trade other people's money. That's really what we're doing. We open a demo account. They call it the challenge. So you send 79 for the small account, 100 for the 10,000 account, and you get 8% phase 1. Okay, so stage 1, you can see on the left, you get your profit target. So it's 8% for stage 1. Stage 2 is only 5%. And then stage 3 is your funded account, where it's your money. So you trade with their money and you keep 80 to 90% of the profits. Yes, sir.
Just like to say, for everybody watching, if you were in Chart Hackers in the Discord, these things are being given away as prizes for various reasons. People that are active in the chat putting good trades. There's even some merit awards for Spirit in there. All sorts of these accounts have just been given out to members, which covers the cost of the monthly membership, just getting one of these free accounts, and you've got $5,000 to trade with.
No,
so
it's a banger.
Just saying, getting hackers.
It's a banger. And then, guys, hackers, I did drop it in the chats. Any chart hackers, guys that are watching, I dropped in the chats today. I'm just waiting for Chaos to confirm the schedule, but I'm doing a Bitfunded Zoom tonight. Okay, so we're going to do it 35 minutes. I'm going to cover my Bitfunded strategy. I'm going to show you how it all works, and we'll tackle it. So that's happening tonight. Hackers, just watch the chats. I'll send out an announcement as to what time I'm going to do that. But I'll take you through the strategy. I'll show you how I've done this stuff and how I've gotten these funded accounts. Okay, nice, James. Thank you, sir. We'll see you later. Okay, that's it, guys. Good luck. You got degen trades from me. You've got bigger picture market meltdown trades. I think you're well equipped. Okay, the Lord has sorted you out. And don't forget that super bullish ETH pattern. I'm loving that. I'm loving that ETH, that bullish ETH pattern. Okay, see you later. Dude, I can't believe that ETH.